Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to the final session of the day on our wonderful blue stage. There's a little photo session, I can see that right now, which is together with the protagonists of the final session. But, well, what will it be about? It will focus on shaping a smarter and more sustainable future. That's what we all want to get. How can we reach that? Well, smart ecosystems play a certain role, but we will find out more in the next 45 minutes, and we're looking forward to the opening keynote of the next session, which will be held by the Vice President E-Mobility and Powertrain Systems at Akkodis, and his name is Karoly Beres. Please give a big hand. Welcome to our stage.
Can you move a mountain? Or can you drive an electric vehicle 4,000 miles? Those are both questions. What would you say no at the first moment? But you need to think of a smart solution for that. And then, for that, we need to consider some technologies of today. Some of them are very high-tech technologies, like using newest smartphones with even more cameras and 10 cameras on the back, or our charging devices, how we try to make it complex enough to fulfill the needs of the customers. But then there is one more technology where people are always thinking of addition. If you try to get a kid to drive or to ride a bicycle, it's pretty problematic at the beginning, so people are adding additional wheels and so on. But it's a genius solution of taking off something instead of adding always new features, and let the kids have it simple enough to be able to balance and learn it even without noticing it. None of my kids had problem with that. And that's exactly in which direction smart goes. So as a very wise person said, once everything should be made so simple as possible, but not more simple. So what does Akkodis do? Akkodis is a leader in the smart industry. And smart industry is basically using the engineering arts, engineering practices, and converting it, adding it to the IT and digital practices to find a good solution and more efficient and smart solution, utilizing all our 50,000 engineers worldwide to do this. In this effort, we are transforming different industries. What we see is that the IT and engineering technologies are converting to a digital future, using all the data, all the information to make our knowledge even more sustainable, more proficient and more reliable. The huge amount of data, what we collect and what we get by this innovation, we can use to make a more reliable world. And reliability is really a very, very important topic, as by reliability, it's always not, you can counter anxiety. And in the most new technologies, anxiety is the biggest problem. And of course, we need to do it all sustainable. Everything is going nowadays in the sustainable direction. We have recognized that we cannot do everything recklessly with our world. And the new sustainable wish is defining a lot of new problems, not a few challenges, and that's what our engineers are helping to solve. We have the first hypothesis that the electrification and autonomous driving is reshaping permanently our future. And this change is happening. We can't stop it. We won't even stop it. There is no discussion anymore if this change is happening. The question is it happening fast enough? So the question is, what can we do to make it fast enough, to make it in a way that it's accepted by everyone and that we have the same comfort what we had before? What smart solutions can we think of in this? And there we are coming to our next topic. We don't really have a range anxiety. Everybody's talking about range anxiety. We have a charging anxiety. It's not about I need to drive every day 700 kilometers. Most of the people almost never do that, maybe on holidays. We are talking about I want to know that I can reliably get from point A to point B. And I want to plan it properly. I don't want to have uncertainties where I stay somewhere. So a friend of mine has stranded in Luxembourg for several hours with the whole family. That's, of course, very uncomfortable if charging infrastructure is unreliable. So we have a research project exactly to counter this. Our Charge.com is diagnosing the charging process, diagnosing the battery capabilities, and with this, we're collecting a huge amount of data, building up digital twins, and diagnosing the health of the battery and health of the charging infrastructure based on the charging process. With that, even collecting enough data if there is fleets to be able to ensure a more reliable fleet planning and enable the fleet operator to plan the routes in a way that these routes are driven without any problems. Another topic about reliability and trust of the people is what can we do with accidents? With autonomous driving, we are hearing about some manufacturers which are not taking this enough seriously, but others are taking it much better. But the question is, okay, we can't really reduce the amount of accidents of zero, but maybe we can save, even in case of accident, the lives of the people. So how can we win a few milliseconds? How can we win a few nanoseconds in some cases? And how can we change the situation in a way that even if an accident is happening, then we will still be able to save the people. Our research project, it's even supported here in Bavaria with our partners, is tackling exactly with this question: how can we integrate all the sensors? How can we ensure that we bring the car in a situation which is more safe for all the passengers? The second topic is the electrification and smart ecosystems. They will be needed in the future, and I think we will get used to them in the future, but we are just not there yet. We need to develop many smart systems and ecosystems to get there. So what we do for this? I have a small teaser for that.
On our combined journey, we are faced with some of the biggest challenges of our time. Our major advances in technology have resulted in our natural resources being at stake. We are now at a crossroads. Are we ready to change our mindset, change our behavior, and create a positive impact? Are we letting things slip through our fingers? Or are we willing to take matters into our own hands? At Akkodis, we embrace change. Change is the opportunity for our disruptive ideas to emerge. It is our opportunity to innovate. We see ourselves as part of an ecosystem of a bigger scheme, where single actions can create synergies, capable of unleashing meaningful change and impacting the course of the future. The Akkodis Smart Battery is a result of this mindset. Unlike current battery technologies, the Akkodis Smart Battery combines different battery chemistries and cell types, enabling it to charge various different devices and to easily adopt new technologies. Need to use your car battery later in the day in your electric scooter? No problem. The modular system means inter-device replacement. Discharged modules can be exchanged with the charged ones from powering stations, or even from a home storage unit, which means no more extended charging periods and a quick establishment of second life usage. This small, lightweight system also means no dragging of large e-vehicle batteries when driving from A to B. At Akkodis, these ideas shape our thinking and drive us to innovate mobility.
Engineering a smarter future together.
So what do we think of a smart ecosystem? It's one part of a battery. I think we'll talk a bit about this longer. The question is, do we need really to carry our huge batteries all the time with us? How we can ensure that we utilize less resources and still achieve the same goal? And that's the smart solution. I'm getting back to my 1,000-mile question from the beginning. Yes, you can drive 1,000 miles, not in one piece. If the complete ecosystem is, if the complete environment is reliable enough so that you can do that without having to bother too much how you can do that, it shouldn't be a problem at the end. And that's what we want to achieve with our ecosystems. We have the battery to be able to extend our range. We can use the same battery for other appliances. We can use AI to diagnose our ecosystem to make more reliability. We can integrate it in our green energy generation from our rooftop, for instance. And of course, we have services to ensure that we have tested and validated all the charging infrastructure, making it possible to be reliable enough that all people gain trust here. We also ensure that if someone is using trucks or bigger appliances, we have a ready solution which we can buffer a smaller, weaker network to ensure even megawatt charging for a truck in a remote place. So those are all parts of a full ecosystem which we ensure for this. And our battery is not only here on pictures, we have some examples of it. My colleagues designed this. And you can see it also in our booth with some appliances and some versions, how we can try it out. Thank you, Tina. So how we proceed from this point? We have some additional ideas how we can proceed to ensure even more reliability. One solution which is very close to realization, actually, it's being used in Hanover, it's being used in some truck appliances, is our energy buffer, which is done with our partners together and which can be already ordered to ensure that we have up to 1 megawatt charging solution, even on a network which has only 80 kilowatts power, with buffering enough energy to charge the trucks. Another solution, what we're working on at the moment, is a cloud connection for charge module controllers and the control electronic for these solutions. So it all comes up to a common environment, a common ecosystem. A part of this ecosystem is our EVA Charge. The EVA Charge is a controller which is continuously being developed further, which is already working in many high-power charging solutions, and can be licensed, can be both for solving this charging for both charging equipment and vehicle side. The further topics what we do with this charging equipment is to ensure bidirectional charging, coming to this point, and also to network it to the big data, to AI evaluation of how reliable the systems can be. And coming to this reliability, so how can we buffer energy? we have seen the big energy buffer, but it's an expensive solution for normal users, for everyday users. It can be used by big users, but what can we do as normal citizens to ensure that we have a reliable network? It's always this kind of fear, okay, what happens if everyone is driving electric? Will we have enough electricity? The very brute force solution is building more power plants, but that's not a smart solution. Our smart solution is to support the network and give more energy with supporting the network with the batteries which are already existing, which are in our vehicles, which are in our smart charging solutions, and which are maybe not being used all the time with their full power. So our DERIVE Smart Solution project, research project, is working exactly on this topic. What are the possibilities to support the network, which is acceptable also for the users? It's not disturbing and it's acceptable, but still sufficient to use a good network saving possibility. Another interesting point for autonomous driving is people moving on events. Our colleagues worked on building the U-Shift concept. This is a vehicle which can be seen in the German Gartenschau in Mannheim. And you can get in this vehicle and try it out till October this year. So I think it's a very interesting opportunity to see a driverless vehicle walking or driving around with many passengers. The third hypothesis is that augmented reality and virtual reality is reshaping the world. So we can't have only the things what we have built up, like these examples, but we can already have a very fast sneak peek if the users are liking something or not liking something, and we can also ensure that we have a faster and more efficient learning method. One of the utilization of VR is our training environment for high voltage, which is used internally and externally. It doesn't need any high voltage equipment. The trainees are not in danger of the 1000 volts being there and can try out with a dry run with our virtual equipment, which is a great possibility. We also have some other training modules, and this is a good utilization of these technologies. Another possibility is showing possible show cars, use cases, products in the virtual world without having to give out a lot of money to build those as a concept, but already having a very realistic feeling on how do these look like. And one of concepts which have been shown otherwise, but it has been built up really as an end product as well, has been built by our colleagues, can be seen as a presentation here in the fair as well from BMW, is the iVision D concept, which has been also built by our colleagues in the car concept part of Akkodis. And we have a small outro as well as there. The car can actually be seen on our booth here in the fair. So you can just sit in and try out how the feeling is. It's integrating our smart battery and contributing to our ecosystem. As a conclusion, if we want a bright future, we can move mountains. We need to create the ecosystem which is enabling this, and Akkodis does enable this with our enthusiastic engineers. Thank you.